How's everybody doing? My name's Steve Wormer. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. It's an honor to be with each of you this morning. I hope you're having a great event. You know, I want to talk to you this afternoon about something I don't think we talk about nearly enough. What is that? Resilient leadership. Let me ask you, how many of you in this room have ever had a setback? That's all of us, right? Well, what I've learned about leadership is we have a false idea at times what true, authentic leadership looks like. I know for years I used to think leadership looked like money, power, title, corner office. Any of that sound familiar? And you know what? I've learned through my setbacks that true leadership is humility. True leadership is serving. True leadership is leading from your authentic, God-given self. But I have to take you back in time. Because remember, I told you what I thought leadership was. And I attained that many, many years ago. I had that corporate job. I had 450 employees in 3 districts in Tennessee and Kentucky. I had the company car. My second company car, I got to pick out the trim and the make and the model and all of that. I had bonuses. I made company bonus 11 times out of 12. I was successful at 29 years old in a business, in a corporate business, where 60-year-olds were still resting on their laurels from many years before. I had it made. I had a house built in the suburbs of Nashville. We had the white picket fence. We had the dogs. We just needed a family to go with it. And those of you that have heard me speak before, you know about our infertility issues. You know about the 5 miscarriages. You know about the 6 failed adoptions before God gave us 3 children all at once. But I don't want to go there today. I want to tell you just a little bit about what happened and then maybe relate it to your story. Because I have reason to believe that right now as you're sitting here, you've got some victories going on in your life. But there's also some setbacks that you're trying to fight through right now. And I hope that I can help in some small way. I believe and the other speakers, the other lessons, that God has been using those to encourage your soul today. That corporate job I told you about went away like that. It went away while I was asleep at 3 a.m, and I had an employee on 3rd shift do something at the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation building that would make the news all over the next morning. Don't have time to get into it now. It doesn't really matter. I lost it all. And losing that job became 6 months of unemployment, right when the dot-coms crashed. Had all this management experience, I thought for sure I'd be able to find something similar. 6 months of unemployment, watching my wife work her rear end off while I'm struggling to find work. I'm struggling to provide. Watching the bills stack up. Watching and hearing the collectors call. When are you going to make payment on this bill? Eventually, we lost it all. Eventually, we filed for bankruptcy. Eventually, we lost that house that we built in the suburbs. It was crushing. It was crushing for a young man. And it was during that time I realized I had a choice to make. Was I going to let this setback define me? Oh, it was going to define me. But which direction was it going to define me? Was it going to crush me? Sure felt like it at the time. Or was it going to make me dig deep to find out what kind of man I was? And it was during that time I realized resilience doesn't show up when everything's going right. It reveals itself when everything has gone wrong. So to continue on with the story, I eventually, after that 6 months, by the grace of God, landed a job with a local nonprofit. It wasn't the job I was looking for. It wasn't the job I wanted, but it was the job God knew that I needed to have. Why would that be the case? Because it was going to involve putting others first. It was working with adults with mental disabilities. Some of it was going to be hands-on. Some of it was tailored to my strengths. There was still portions of it where I got to create revenue. Amazing how God knows exactly how to lead your path if we let Him, right? But I'll tell you how ungrateful I was at first. They had me reading through files the whole first day. I'm used to making decisions. I'm used to making sales. I'm used to elevating people. I'm used to calling the shots. And I'm reading files. I remember after 2 hours of reading files, I got a break and I went in the back parking lot. And I remember, showing my age a little bit, I remember getting on my Nokia cell phone with an antenna about this long and calling my headhunter and saying, "You got to get me out of here. I got to get out of here." I was ungrateful. And I stayed there for 12 years after that phone call. God was doing a deeper work in me. And what He was doing that I did not know was that 12 years was preparing me for full-time ministry. Like David shared earlier, he never would have dreamed of being a speaker. I'm like, you're calling me to ministry? The guy that had problems in his marriage and was 48 hours away from his wife calling a divorce attorney, you're calling me to ministry? Say it's not so. Well, it was so. That work He had started in me and humbling myself and putting others first led me to being a church leader over 3 churches over 15 years. And I got the joy, and I'm still doing that today, I had the joy of watching people have their lives transformed. People coming together in marriage. People starting their families through adoption like we did. It was amazing. I've seen people leave God. I've seen people be hurt by the church. I've seen the whole gamut that comes with ministry and being a church leader. But you know what? That prepared me for what I'm doing today. Speaking, coaching, writing. See, God ordains all of our steps. So I've got 3 things I want to share with you today, and they're really, really quick. Resilience begins in the ruins. You see, I don't know about you, but I don't care for rock bottom. I don't think many people like rock bottom. But for me, what was great about rock bottom, I came to the end of myself. I needed to be driven to my knees to call on Him. And He did that. What is it for you? Where are you in your journey? Maybe you're building back now. Maybe you're about to hit rock bottom. Maybe you're thinking, I can't go any lower. Or maybe you're fighting your way out of rock bottom now. You know what I learned? We don't get out of rock bottom alone. We need a community. We need a tribe. We need a circle that believes in us, that encourages us, that holds us accountable, but in a loving way. I've shared this before. If you don't have that circle, you have a cage, and you need to reform it into a healthy circle. Second point, I learned that service strengthens the soul. That nonprofit job, it taught me to deny myself. It taught me to put other people first. And I'm so grateful that God gave me that lesson. I needed that lesson to form my character, because my character was selfish. Service will always strengthen our soul. How are you serving right now? It doesn't have to be a big, huge project, though that's great. We've got a food pantry at our church. We're a small church of 50 people. And this little church almost fed 1 million pounds of food in 2024 in the Memphis, Tennessee community. But it can be as simple as encouraging somebody in this room today. A smile. You did a great job after your talk like Anastasia did, right? That was her first time speaking and she knocked it out of the park, did she not? Yes. Yeah, give her a round of applause. Absolutely. Who are you serving today? It will help them, but you know what? It'll be good for your soul. You don't grow by being seen. You grow by being stretched. You see, I was being stretched all these years. I'm still being stretched. How about you? We're being stretched because He's got a calling on our lives. A calling that's greater than we could ever fathom. And He'll keep stretching you so you'll rely on Him and not yourself. Lastly, purpose follows the pain. I've had many, many years of pain. I'm going through some pain right now. But it's not lost. God's going to use it. Whatever you're going through, it will not be wasted by Him. He will use it to help somebody else or a bunch of somebody else's. If you obey and if you don't give up. Never give up. Resilience is indeed the bridge who you were and who you're becoming. And I think sometimes with that bridge, we think I'm looking out at the city of Dallas right now. I don't even know if that's LBJ Parkway, 635 or 30, I don't know. But sometimes we look way out there and think the bridge is way out there one day. But what if the bridge was right here? It's an imaginary bridge that's right here, right now, and God's waiting for us to cross it. I struggle with that all the time. Right here, between the ears. But what if it's right there, and I just need to take the first step towards crossing it? But again, I need community to encourage me, to nudge me, to sharpen me, to take that step, or else I might not ever take it by myself. My encouragement to you is keep crossing the bridge. And you know what? When you want to walk back across it, back the other way to your comfort zone, cross it again. You're not broken, my friends. You're being built for something more. And you are stronger than the setbacks that you're currently facing. Please don't forget. Anything else I've said today, take this with you. You are stronger than the setbacks that you're facing currently. I help people with their resistance, their mindset, their limited thinking, and I help them build a plan to resiliency, resilient leadership. I'd love to connect with you. Book a clarity call with me at stevewormer.com. Let's take those steps across that bridge together. Thank you guys for letting me share.